Hello, everybody. This is John Banda and my friend Nyasha Ngundu, and this is the Banda Ngundu podcast. Before we begin, we're gonna be preface we're going to be having like spoilers for My Hero Academia. So if any of you are not up to date, I will apologize in advance so that you won't get triggered. So, anyways, Nyasha, how are you doing?
I'm good, but are we still calling it the Banda Ngundu podcast? It's like, come on, man, be more creative.
Okay, what would you rather call it? The
Oh,
degeneracy podcast.
peers are having, yeah, kind of, because our peers are having, podcast called, Trashy Taste, and then
The thing
other
is,
podcasts have
you can't really compare
similar
us
names.
to the Anime Man and Giga. Those guys are like superstars, so they can call themselves the shit podcast, and people still watch it.
Yeah, but you need to have that. But we'll go back to this. Hello everyone, I am Nasha. Uh, yeah, so let's dive right into it and talk about
Okay,
My Hero Academia's latest development.
all right, cool. Yeah, we can get into that. But before we really get into that, like the last podcast, I was kind of behind. I was like in the 220s, and then I caught up. And yeah, I have to say that My Hero Academia has been extremely interesting, considering that now I have something like an alternative to Demon Slayer.
Now it's an alternative. Back then it was just some boring uh, stuff that you're reading. Now you see the hype of it. You people.
Actually, to be quite honest, like, I did drop it after the Endeavor arc. I think they were doing that training thing. So the first two matches between Class A and B were like just boring. So I just, it's like you know,
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask: is that guy? Is he now in the hero course?
what's the name? You're talking about the guy Aizo was being like I forgot his name, but the dude who like if you speak, then he can like mind control you. Is that what we are talking about?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Like apparently he's gonna join the hero course, but like I think the following year.
Oh, so you be in either class. Is he going in class 1A or I mean
No,
like one?
they didn't specify which class he'll be in, but he will be like behind and like Deku and the rest of the guys.
Oh, so you wouldn't be in the second year. You'd be
Yeah,
first
it's
year.
basically well, he'll be a late comer because I don't think because mostly his quirk, it really I think it'll be more useful for like those special ops or like
But
gigs
yeah.
where people like are not really aware of what he's doing. Then he asks them a question and they answer. Then he controls them. So I think that's where his
His quirk is more suited for that. I wonder, but I doubt it'll work against people like Sigurati and the higher tier things. It might work against Derby, uh, but then the problem is with the super villains, like they're meant to be fucked, so they can kind of you know break the brainwashing because they're already their brains already broken. So yeah,
yeah
I don't think it'll work on super team, but then it'll get him through a lot because they'd be secretly in charge of the entire room, and then let's just say they find out he's a hero. He just turns everyone against each other, makes chaos, and then he runs away.
yeah
That could be like how he uses his power.
that could be useful. He could go from being really weak to making his quirk a bit more battle ready because for the most part, like, yeah, and unless if he's dealing with people who are unaware, like his quirk is not going to be because I don't think he's even good at combat, like for the most part. So he'd get destroyed.
But then he's been training with Aizawa like he was
Yeah. I mean,
getting buff now.
yeah, he has been.
I think he's taking it quite seriously. I
Hmm.
think because even if you think about it, uh, Vermilion he is this doesn't come from his quirk, but actually comes from his training. He can actually reach a Vermilion kind of level, which kind of goes back to Vermilion. Like, he's one of those few people that I'm like, come on, dude. Like, if he was only battle ready for this new thing that's happening, he would be very, very useful. Like, he's one of the new heroes that I can say that for. He's the closest to being kind of like All Might. Like, he's just got that thing in him. Like, Deku, yeah, I like Deku, but then, that guy's got, he's closest to being All Might than Deku is. And then too bad that he's quirkless now.
Oh yeah.
Unless it's,
but I'm pretty sure that girl is gonna eventually figure out how to use her powers. Then he's gonna, come back into the picture again.
That would be good. That would be good because he has so much to think. But then he's not completely useless because he still has the strength and everything. He can just continue working on what he was good at. When he gets his powers back, he'd be twice as deadly.
Alright, cool. So let's get into more of Shigaraki's what's it called? His flashback, the part of his story where he was a kid.
Oh, he actually wanted to be a hero before things happened, and then he became a kid.
Yeah, all it takes is having a deadbeat father who abuses you for you to not be a hero.
Yeah, but from like, oh my, sensei was his grandmother, right?
Yeah, basically. I think Nana Shimura, yeah.
So the dad was which one? Was the son his dad or the son was the mom?
No. The father of Shigaraki was the son of the hero.
Oh, and he was an asshole.
Yeah, he was an asshole because I'm guessing his mom. I don't think she abandoned him. I think All for One killed her, and she couldn't come back. Which is kind of crazy. So I'm guessing Shigaraki doesn't really care because his grandmother got killed by his master, but
it's weird because people have a theory that the female normal could actually be the grandmother.
Really? Oh, he kept a corpse of her.
Yeah, and then they did some weird experiment. So that's the ongoing theory that's happening, with My Hero, with the My Hero story. People really think that because it was way too just way too unique and the way it was moving and reacting to certain characters, it really made you think that this person could actually used to be the corpse of a hero, and it's not really out of the bounds of All for One, because that guy is a real bastard. That guy is evil, but then people actually have not actually comprehended that this guy is evil.
Yeah, he is. I mean, literally, he could raise the what's it called? Sorry, I'm getting the actual term, but the relative of someone he killed, and call it a day. But anyways, Shigaraki was the father, the way he was treating his son was a bit extreme. I noticed that in most shonen anime, I know that One Punch Man made parodied the nature of shonen where the villain tends to have a really depressing backstory. They were abused or they went through hell, then they came out horrible, of which My Hero Academia is literally playing into the stereotype where villains come from. Basically, if you come from a broken home, you're going to become a villain. I don't know what kind of messages they're sending to children.
Which is, that is stuff. But, speaking of One Punch Man, I still can't, shake off the feeling of that guy from One Punch Man, King. When I first saw him, you think that he's some bad ass person. You find out that he's just some weird, coward. I was just like, dude, that was the biggest disappointment in anime, which was cool, but yet so disappointing at the same time. I was angry but excited, but angry at the same time. And that guy with the King engine was just his heartbeat. Oh, come on, man. I really, really, got pissed off. And, when King wasn't, all that, he was just an otaku who just got it, over his head.
Yeah, it's a version, it's playing with you. But I don't know. At least they've managed to make it work. for the most part. Like he
Even manage
for situations where he's probably gonna have to fight, but then someone steps in, then he takes all the glory.
to. He's a cooler version of yeah,
Oh, Mr. Satan.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah, well, Mr. Satan was. Well, he was obnoxious because he'll be like, "Hey, I did it. Cell didn't defeat. Sorry, what am I saying? The Goku and Vegeta didn't defeat Cell. It was Mr. Satan, and all that BS."
Which which is kind of stupid because I know at the time that he was a world champion, but then
Yeah.
people should have recognized that dude who was a two-time world champion and he was there. So they could have, said that no, they could have at least given him a kind of risk. I know the story, Tarayama wasn't thinking in that dimension, but then, at least they could have respected him in the fact that saying that you Goku was a former world champion.
Yeah. So yeah, we're kind of digressing now from My Hero.
No,
Yeah. So
I was even talking about well, it's also a bit of a small digression, but since we're talking about the superhero genre,
Yeah.
DC Comics actually came up with something, a new story for. I think I don't know if you've been following DC Comics. If you know that Joker's got a new sidekick called Punchline. This is like the replacement of Harley Quinn on anti-Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I've seen the character. She doesn't have the sex appeal of Harley, but she's new. I guess.
But the way it's written and her backstory and everything is like it's well written. That's why I'm a real fan of DC Comics because once in a while they give you the most amazing kind of storylines that you be like, whoa, these guys actually know what they're doing. Marvel, they should just stick with movies, man. They should just stick with movies because the comic books, they're just not doing well. Like I kind of, had it when, gave them a leg when they decided to make Wolverine and Cyclops, boinking each other. Then I was like, what the fuck? Like you guys go from rivals to lovers in an instant. Like,
wait, the lovers.
I digress. Let's go back to My Hero before.
Yeah, man, it took us to a marvelous turn. Like it literally took us to a marvelous turn. Pretty much the wrong turn. Yeah, like
we should.
Getting back to My Hero.
We will get cancelled by Twitter.
Huh?
But we will get cancelled by Twitter if I.
It depends if we're that popular to get cancelled. Because you need to have like a bit of a following for people to care. Anyway, so
we're black. They want us.
Yeah, because our lives matter, right?
So
going back to My Hero, like I have a question. Like when I was reading like the chapters, I remember, did Hawks kill Genist?
No. I don't think it was Hawks that killed Genist.
Okay, so was it someone impersonating Hawks?
Yeah, it was twice.
Well, it was twice impersonating Hawks.
Yeah, it was twice.
Because like I remember clearly, like Best Genist gets attacked, and for some reason we never see him again. And what's his name? Bakugo talks about like apparently I remember he didn't have like a hero name yet, so he wanted to then tell Best Genist his hero name, but it's kind of vague. We're not sure if he's dead or not. So I was like, he died?
No, I think this Genist is one of the few that actually died, which is weird. He's a weird character, business. Like his power is Gene. Like what's the guy, the author of My Hero Code?
Koei Horikoshi.
Yeah, that guy comes up with weird. You think Oda comes up with the weird shit, but then Horikoshi, wow.
The only difference with Oda and Horikoshi is that at least these concepts are well drawn. Hey, have you been reading One Piece lately?
To be honest, I haven't actually been reading.
Yeah, well, I've kind of
what's been happening.
It's a really weird life cycle when it comes to One Piece, where I came from being a hater, then I went to sucking Oda's dick, them from sucking his dick.
Oh yes, I remember. You used to be you had your soul for moment. Like I remember you used to come and razz me over. Oh, why do you like One Piece? The art is whack. The stories for kids. You gave me a hard time for liking One Piece, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, what is this? They're like, nah, that thing's like ass. Bleach, Naruto. Yeah, God. And thanks for reminding me, man. I'm going to keep on reminding you to the day you die. Like this guy was a soul. Had a soul.
Herein lies the problem now. I've reverted back to that guy.
Just for now. We know deep down you're going. You'll be sucking all this dick again.
Nah. This time I'm not too jaded. Like I think everything during the Wano arc. I think just after the Dressrosa, like it's been a chore to read. I think I was only happy with what's it called? What happened at the Riri arc? We got to see the world government and all those pirates. And that what's the name? That mermaid lady who I hate. I think Shiro. I'm not even gonna make an effort to remember her, but that mermaid girl who knew who killed her parents, but she never told anyone. That was really dumb. We're digressing again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with One Piece, what can I say? Like its progression is kind of weird. Like, I don't know. Like for me, it kind of felt like the A stuff was its climax for me. Although the battle with the Big Mom was actually quite dope. Like it was good, but then it's one of those things where they have a good moment and then the next 2 arcs are just waiting for you to cool down. Then it gets hype. Then it the next 2 arcs are like filler arcs. Then again, Shonen Jump, is
yeah, I get it.
They want it to continue forever and ever.
Yeah, I get it. It's still popular. It's still selling like hotcakes. But for the most part, it's been like not just it being so. Even like the art and the paneling, like because like nowadays my design brain has been switched on. So there's a lot of like stuff that doesn't make sense. Like it's cluttered. You can barely tell what's going on. It doesn't use contrast. Like it barely uses any screen tone. So everything is like evenly toned and it's competing with each other, and it's hard. It's terrible. Like for your eyes. It makes sense why Demon Slayer kicked its ass.
Oh, Demon Slayer. But the thing is, Demon Slayer, its art is it's quite. It's not. It's good, but then it's very low standard, like standardized shonen kind of art. So it's very unique in its own way. But then
But it does have its moments because like
one thing which I can respect about Demon Slayer was the background. Man, that lady knows how to do a background. Like everything.
We're giving her credit, but it's probably an assistant because these mangakas work with the unsung heroes. So
true.
Who's getting blessed? You might think she's the shit, but it's someone else. Yeah, I'm just saying. We always get the end product, but we don't know who actually drew the background.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any mangaka that does stuff by himself anymore.
It doesn't make sense to do that. And also, we're in a capitalist world. The end product matters. So
Oh yeah, that's true.
Whether you did it all or you had people helping you, if you can meet your deadlines, that's what matters.
What matters, that's true.
So going back to my hero, right?
What else? My hero, yeah.
There's my new waifu, the rabbit girl, Merkel.
How come everyone says that's a new waifu? Like,
bro, you got a dark, melanin skinned girl with thick thighs, and she can kick hard.
Yeah, but then the wife that I keep on forgetting about is what's that chick called? The kinky one. Something.
Uraraka.
Not Uraraka. She's a pro hero. The one who wears skimpy outfit.
I mean the one who are you talking about the one who I'm forgetting? Forgetting. I'm actually forgetting.
I'm forgetting it.
It's not Mount Lady, right?
Name, but
Mount Lady doesn't wear skimpy.
Mount Lady. Wears skimpy outfits. I think forget a power, what the powers are. But then yeah,
Wait,
let me see if I can Google her name.
all right, cool. You can do that. This is the power of doing stuff live. Literally, and you have to Google it just to go. It delegitimizes how much of a MHA fan you are and how much of an MHA fan I am.
Let's see. You put Nightmare? Yeah, Nightmare, exactly.
Okay. Oh wait.
Yeah, she's white.
See her as a waifu.
She's okay. So she's less iffy than I thought.
But the Mirko was pretty cool, even though she got a part of her. I think her hand got ripped off by that Nomu.
Oh yeah, but at least she was saved by Endeavor.
Yeah, I mean, at least she gets to live, unlike the other guys. Then, like, as soon as what's her name, Shigaraki got awakened, then he started wreaking havoc and just kicking ass, and yeah, he's dangerous now.
So she features in the anime, right?
Mirko, I'm not sure if I remember. Do you?
I'm thinking, I haven't seen the anime yet, so.
You haven't seen season 4?
I haven't seen season 4 for some reason.
All right. Another thing, did you notice that they gave Shigaraki like a quick training arc when they introduced what's the name? I think it's Giganto Makia or something like that.
Wait, yeah, that guy, the guy who can level 50.
Yeah. Because like
I think
with him like for a month, then they end up going to face the Liberation Army dude.
Whatever happened to those guys? Like,
wait, they're working for Shigaraki because like after he kicked I think Destro's ass. Attacked, and Destro, since he has money, funded them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it is sad that what's his name twice ended up dying.
Come on, why you reminding me? Twice was my guy, man.
Well, yeah, it happens, man. The best of us die.
Let's just hope another twice don't survive.
Alright, cool.
So you never know how many of the fuckers he has made.
Did you read the latest chapter of My Hero Academia? 275.
I think I did.
Okay.
Which one was that one about?
Oh, basically, Deku and Bakugo like are running away, trying to like lead Shigaraki away. Like Shigaraki wants to capture Deku because yeah, we has one for all. But Shigaraki manages to get rid of. Okay, doesn't kill Endeavor. He just blows him away with that technique that All for One used against All Might during that fight. So the one where he like hits you with waves. And after he does that,
is that
yeah.
Wait, a quick question. Is that the chapter? Because I don't know if I read that chapter because I left off when Endeavor faces off with Shigaraki, like a meeting.
Yeah, that was last week's chapter. Like, but this week's chapter, like Endeavor gets like blown away, not killed, but like the wave. Then Shigaraki then almost kills Deku and Bakugo. Because you kind of see them disintegrating, then Gran Torino comes in and saves them.
Oh damn! So what? How much of them has disintegrated?
I think I'm not sure if they were disintegrating or they had a night, like one of those where like they feel like they're gonna die, then they imagine themselves disintegrating. And Gran Torino like saves them. Then he tells them that you guys are actually you guys are not ready at all. Like that where you got the beta. Okay, no, not beta. Maybe the weak shonen who wants to face the big dogs, and then the older guy tells them, you guys you're too whack. You can't. You're not ready.
That's good. I don't think there's any hero that's ready for
Shigaraki
at this moment.
Yeah, they probably have to, because I feel like it's gonna be real.
Endeavor got swatted like a fly then what hope does the other heroes have? Like
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't. So I'm curious how it's gonna go down, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be crazy for the rest of the
you,
coming weeks.
what Deku should do? Deku should just give back all for one to give back his quirk back to All Might and let him deal with it because woo no, this is just way too much. Like the ass kicking, like it. Oh, but All Might, they should find a way to heal him first. But then the thing is, he's now old, so he's not as
Yeah,
strong as he used to be.
yeah. So it's gonna be. See how it's gonna.
It's gonna be hectic.
Because right now, Deku is.
Although I still don't like Bakugo. Like, does he still have his bad attitude?
Yeah, it still has bad. Like, if you notice, like, whenever they do the popularity polls, he always comes out as number one.
Well, it looks like the fans like him.
Yeah, so, okay, I've got a theory. So, okay, I'm gonna bring something random. You know that guy, Jordan Peterson?
Yeah.
Alright, so basically, he did, like, some psychoanalysis that, certain personality types have attributes that coalesce with the way they do things in terms of being goal-oriented. So, someone who's unlikable or disagreeable, like Bakugo, tends to want to win. It's because, like, if you're unlikable, then for people to value you as a human being or someone who contributes to society, you need to, produce results. So you would most likely be competitive because that's your only redeeming factor. So I feel like with Bakugo, like especially like especially if you work, you deal with company culture and politics. Like even if you're an asshole, you get results. You get things done. Like people, maybe not your co-workers, but the execs or people on the top who appreciate you or value more because you add monetary value to the company. You might not be likable, but so I feel like maybe Bakugo represents that. Hey, he's an asshole, but he gets things done.
I get where you're coming from, but come on, yeah.
I mean, he does things done. I mean,
what's the guy called? Todoroki gets things done, but he's not that much of an asshole.
Oh, he has daddy issues, so he's kind of distracted by his family drama. So, unlike, oh yeah, did you remember the mini story about Todoroki's father and the mother, like how they met?
How did they meet? No.
Well, basically, like Todoroki. Sorry, not Todoroki. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Bakugo's mother and Bakugo's father.
No, how do they?
Okay, so I guess you didn't read that mini chapter, but basically, Bakugo's father was like some meek dude, and like the mom was like as intense as a Bakugo, and she kind of like, through coercion, made the nigga fall for her. So it's one of those like she was forward, and it's like, hey, dude, I like you, and kind of. Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking like that Steve Johnson, like, I like you and I want you. We could do this the easy way or the hard way.
Yeah, we're both in this relationship who's the bottom because I'm pretty sure Bakugo's mother, the way she's intense, it's probably the father who's being destroyed.
That's true. Which is, I think someone as intense as it needs someone to cool her down. Like I wonder, does Bakugo respect the dad?
Well, from what I remember reading, he's pretty much the I guess the punching bag of the family.
What about the
he's
dad?
There to absorb the blows of his son and his wife.
With the dad or Bakugo?
No, Jane, the father is a punching bag. Like literally, he's very meek. He's different from like his son and his wife.
Wait, does the dad have a question?
I'm not sure. I think the chapter I read, like they didn't really address anything concerning quirks. It was just like, you know, you know, just a quickie.
But you can tell that she got a quirk and stuff like that from the mom. Which I was
Yeah,
like, his quirk is it's okay, but then it's unique,
yeah.
disgusting, but
Mm.
yeah, it's got its use to this, and Bakugo is actually kind of as smart as Deku. So, he actually is, someone
Which
that's
which I
reliable.
find surprising because like with this personality, he doesn't seem like the thinking type.
Oh yeah, he's actually quite the thinking type because Ganka, him and Deku used to nerd out over All Might and stuff like that. They were actually
Yeah,
kind of friends with the kid before his quirk, exploded. Then when his quirk exploded, he became an ass.
yeah. That's what happens, man. It's like I'm too cool for you, so you know, gonna
But
be.
then, but then the thing is, those guys, like, if you remember the flashback, those guys were actually quite close. Like when they were kids before he got the quirk. Although he was more confident, he used
Mm.
to be nicer to the guy. Now he's a total ass with his explosive. But then, it kind of, it's not like I blame him for that because he's just as intense as his mom. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he got the meekness from his dad. I would be surprised, like, if when he grows up he becomes as meek as his dad. That would be
I,
funny.
I don't see that happening at all.
It can happen.
I mean, like, nah, no, it's not.
Or maybe he'll be like schizophrenic, like when he's normal in society, acts like his dad. So when he's fighting his villains, he switches up and becomes as intense as his mom.
Yeah, I guess. So I guess we can transition now to something else because we've.
Oh yeah, true. We'll see what the next chapter of my hero brings us. And yeah, let's talk about Promise Neverland. I haven't been
Oh,
reading that much, so you have to, tell us what's
all
been
right, cool.
happening on
I'll
from.
just give you a briefer. So, The Promised Neverland. At least when I got back into it, then because like the last chapter came out today, and it was nice. It wasn't. No, it was nice. I'm pretty sure people who hated the last chapter of Demon Slayer will appreciate this chapter because it was just nice and there was no time skip. It was just pretty simple. So okay, so yeah, I'll wait. Where did I leave it off? So basically, the kids, Norman, Ray, and Emma had left like I think the bunker, uh, and they're planning on going to I think the guy who solidified like the law of human beings being put into farms and them being food for like the demons. So she wants to change like the law or the agreement that was made. Um, sorry, it's not the corona. It's not the corona. No,
Coronavirus.
it's not. It's not. So basically, from there on, like the man got really interesting because we got into like the demon lore, like the culture, etc. So also, I do feel like what's her name, Posika Demuza. I think that's the artist name. She took.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying like she imitated, but I think she took a lot of influence and did a spin on like the art direction of the characters. Like I think she took inspiration from Dark Souls. 'Cause it felt like I was reading Dark Souls like in some of the chapters. And anyways, let me not get too lost in talking about the art, but basically we find out that there's a hierarchy of the demons. You got the nobles, you got the peasants, etc. So apparently, like demons need to eat humans to maintain them in like intelligence. But remember, like okay, you do remember the first chapters, right? Like when they escaped Graceland.
Oh yeah.
Remember, like
Oh
the
yeah.
who helped them out, like the two demons,
Yeah, that guy.
the female and the.
Yeah.
So apparently, that female demon is a demon who doesn't need to eat humans to maintain her form. So meaning that, like, apparently, like, if you have her blood, you can maintain your intelligent demon form and you won't have to eat human flesh. So that was kind of like a secret that the nobles didn't want like most of the regular demons to know, because like they kind of control like the population through like the mass production fields, like no, not fields, the mass production humans that they put in the factories. Because like genuinely the populace or like the peasant demons think that if they don't eat people, they'll devolve and become unintelligent, because the demons don't actually have the I don't know, I wouldn't call them, they don't have like a specific form. They take the form of what they consume. So if they eat horses, you get a horse demon. If they eat cows or if they eat people, they basically take the attributes of that animal. And if they
yeah, I remember that.
yeah, so that was the case. So after a while, so like Emma tries to what's it called? So basically, we end up having like two major, like I guess, factions or villains. You got the Ratri clan. I think I'm not sure. I think the Ratri clan backstory gets explained later on. So back in the day when the humans with swords and the knights were facing off against the demons, I think Ratri, like the old like the ancestor, went to this army that got wrecked, and he was I guess he didn't want to experience more bloodshed, so he decided to sacrifice his friends. They got eaten, and then the human world and the demon world was separated, and therefore several years of factories, and and obviously the premium like intelligent humans like Emma, Raymond, Ray, and the other guy were only served to the intelligent, like noble demons, because when they eat those kids, they get sophisticated, smarter, etc. That was kind of like the yeah. So yeah, she goes on to abolish that, and yeah, like okay, there's a lot that goes on, but basically she manages to strike a deal with that sort of a demon king dude, and
the demon king,
yeah. So for them to fulfill that, she now has to convince some of the demons that apparently they don't need to actually eat humans. They just need to get that lady's blood, getting the demon who doesn't actually need to eat human flesh. And that happens after a while. There's like an internal coup. Like the demons start fighting against each other. Then we get like some epic fights between nobles. Like the noble demons had really insane powers. Then you got to see. I think
so how come the demon king that doesn't do much? Like how come he doesn't do much? Like he's like
basically his purpose is just to strike a deal. Like apparently he's like some, like even the way they discover him, they had to go through some like Indiana Jones or Lara Croft level puzzle for them to discover him, and only Emma ends up like communicating with him. So like
to
strike a deal, you need to like
something about a mind.
Yeah. So apparently for you to strike a deal, you need to make like a sacrifice. So after all the conflicts and they win, like also okay, so after the nobles get killed by some of the other demons, they end up having to face the Ratri clan. And I think Philip Ratri is the guy who was kind of like representing all the Gracefield plantations. And he gets confronted, he gets defeated. Then remember Mama, right? The original Mama.
Yeah.
So
what do you call it? That guy.
Isabel, right? Yeah. So she dies, like trying to protect the kids, because apparently it's made clear that the mamas, because the mamas like also trying to survive, like so
Oh yeah, yeah.
because they wanted to survive. So after everything gets um, sorted out, then she tries to help the kids. Then she gets killed by one of the demons, and the demon gets killed by the kids. They shoot it, and then yeah, they finally make the promise. Once the promise is made, they get like the children get teleported to the real world, not the real, but no, the human world. And apparently, I was actually surprised. The human world is pretty chilled. It's so basically it's the like in the Bible they talk about one nation, one government, the Illuminati stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. So there are no countries. Like everyone is just one. Like no, there are no like I guess tribes or anything that distinguishes you or separates you from other human beings. So it's just one thing. So Emma
Oh,
so for the sake of the promise happening, like Emma loses her memories and she gets teleported to a remote area. I think Arctic area.
oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, the Arctic. I remember
Yeah, then
that part.
her friends later on find her. Then she still doesn't remember anything, but she kind of has a feeling that these are her friends, and that's how it ends. So she has no recollection of what happened in in the other world, but they managed to leave, and also the demons through that late the demon who doesn't turn who can't revert back to being primitive, they fed off her blood, or she donated some of her blood so that the demons could retain their intelligence, so they don't have to eat humans anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of nice. So I wonder who's going to bone Emma between Norman or that other guy.
I don't think that matters, man. It's not that kind of
Or
stuff.
are they going to get a double penetration on her?
Dude, you're taking this the wrong way. Okay, it's time for us to transition to
These are honest questions. These are honest questions. You never know, where the story will take them.
I never know. I'm not sure. One thing is for sure, you just need to go to any hentai site or any doujin that someone created, and all your fantasies will probably be catered for. So,
It's not a fantasy. I'm just curious. These demons, you got to see if this person was with this person, this person was with this person. They didn't explain, so I'm just assuming that these people just gangbangs on Emma, and then they have
no, dude, there's no gangbang happening.
Okay,
cool. So
okay, fine. I'll cool down.
So speaking of okay, so let's get into another segment. All right, so weird manga that you have read. Have you read any weird manga recently?
I wasn't reading manga. I just read that comic book I was telling you about earlier about Origin. What is it called?
The Punchline?
What is it called? I forget. Yeah, the Punchline Origin one. I'm forgetting its name. Let me check. Let me see.
All right.
Whilst I'm looking, what have you been seeing?
All right, cool. So there's this one manga that I checked out. I think it was done by Masashi Kishimoto's brother. It's called Mad Chimera World. It's a very disturbing comic book. So imagine if you know that movie Species.
Mm-hmm.
The one about the lady who lures men and has sex with them, then eats them.
What?
Wait, you know Species, right? Have you seen Species?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So
yeah, I've seen Species.
Okay, so basically in this world, the male population is low, and a lot of like life is mixed with different animals. So you got like humanoid squids, humanoid fish people, humanoid bird people. Like generally, it's weird, and also yeah, like it's a pretty
Mm-hmm.
world. So we got two characters. This female who's camply dressed for reasons that don't make sense, but show titties. And we got another character who looks, I guess, non-binary because it's a guy, but looks feminine. Apparently, the dude
Mm-hmm.
is with his sister, who's like a warrior, and she has to protect the brother because in this world, if you're male, males are eaten. Their only purpose is for like reproduction to maintain the female population. So it's kind of weird where like so it's if you're a guy you're gonna die because women eat guys in this story.
So they're kind of like human black widows.
Yeah, pretty much they kind of behave like spiders, like because I know spiders after they have sex with like the male spider, they eat the male spider, and it gets pretty dark.
Oh yeah.
So, like for instance, right, it's very explicit. So basically, for instance, right, there's this guy, like one of these guys who ends up being killed. He has like intercourse with this lady, like, but like is this but having sex with her, like she bites off his limbs, then his head. So it's like one of those like she waits until the dude comes, then once she's pregnant, she gives birth to like babies. And apparently, like the babies, like okay, because they're mixed species, because they're chimeras. Like
Okay.
a human being, like like little babies coming out of like eggs. Okay, my dogs are barking now. Can you hear them? Anyways,
I can hear. I can hear. I can hear. Kick them.
okay. Anyway, so like basically, like so like the creature lady gives birth to babies, right? And the female baby will eat the male babies for some reason.
What?
Yeah, like there'll be like a bunch of babies, right?
This thing sounds like it was created by a bunch of feminists with like man-hating feminists.
I guess, but I don't know. Maybe the brother is a man-hating feminist because as far as I'm concerned, it was. I didn't mind. I think I read only 10 chapters and I was like, this is not for me because it's a very weird and like raw like story because a lot of anything that's male, right? Like just wants to like the female. But the thing is, if it tries to fuck the female will have intercourse with it, then eat it. Like we eat the males. So so those two characters who I mentioned before. How the brother survives, the sister like takes some vial, wraps it like around her like vagina to get like some scent. Then she puts that vial on her brother so that the brother smells female, and that's how he's been surviving because creatures will just assume that he's female because if he smells like a man, they'll try to have sex with him and eat him.
So you have to cross this. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a very strange manga that I checked out. Yeah, I'm going back to it.
I found out what it's called. It's the Joker 80th anniversary comic.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a bunch of collections of different Joker stories, but the one that caught my attention was Origins of Punchline, where he explains the motive, kills a college, dean, and puts on a makeup and becomes, clown, the clown princess of crime. I'm just putting it in a fast context. Okay? Basically, she's a kid that messed up, and he explains to the dean saying like, why do you think everyone has to grow up to be good? Some people just want to grow up to be evil. And then she says that I'm one of those people that want to see the world girlfriend and stuff like that. So her relationship with the Joker is strictly professional in the sense that she is just, a female Joker. She's everything that Harley Quinn was supposed to be, but it's not, because Harley Quinn is that light-hearted, funny psychopath, or she
Yeah.
is more of the dad kind of psychopath. So the origin and everything is good, and now she's partnered up with the Joker, and I'm presuming that they're going to kill everyone on campus because she's Joker. Although she's not yet has that unpredictability of the Joker. The thing that makes the Joker crazy is the fact that you never know what he's up to, or which version of the Joker you're going to get in a given story. Are you going to get the guy who's going to do the goofy prank, the mass murderer, or just somewhere in between?
All right.
So that was one thing that I read. I also read the latest Black Clover manga.
Yeah, I haven't actually been keeping up to. Okay, I've read that it's really good, like especially the later chapters.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. Like, spoiler alert for anyone who's going to listen to this. Basically, the chick Noelle finds the demon who killed the mom,
Okay.
and finds the demon who killed the mom, and they're working together with the cousin and this other person to bring her to justice. So, but then the problem is the demon is quite powerful, so they devise the plan to to seal up the demon. So far that's what it is. I'm just spitting it out in a very a pitch in less than 20 seconds, like what's been happening in the latest what happened in the latest chapter.
I cool. Actually, now I think about it, I should probably jump on Black Clover so that like the next time when you mention it, we actually have something to talk about. So that
Yeah, you should actually read it. It's good.
Yeah, you're giving me a lot of things to do. So was it Thursday? I think in our time zone, Thursday around 10, we have the PlayStation 5 review, like the games and the specs and stuff like that. And yeah, it was pretty fascinating, especially the memes that came after the review comparing Xbox to PlayStation 5. So
we'll see who's going to win the console wars. I've transcended above consoles, and I'm part of the master race. So PC all the way.
Oh yeah,
It'll be
PC.
interesting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah. What did you?
Exactly on the lead?
In terms of like specs. Like in terms of specs.
In terms of specs, Xbox is slightly better. It's not like it's a big difference. But the problem is, with these consoles and stuff like that, if you're a smart person, you'd wait maybe a year after it comes out, because they're going to obviously release the Xbox 5 Lite, more better specs and everything. So I've seen this dance way too many times. So the idiots would buy the consoles now, but then you just have to wait a few months for the better version of it to come out, with the one with less bugs, and then that's when you purchase your console. But then so far I've always been a PlayStation loyalist at heart. I've never really been too much into Xbox, so I'm going to be rooting for the PS5, even though that I've transcended above console. But then but so far in terms of specs and everything, I would say that the Xbox One is slightly more powerful than the PS5. But we'll see where it goes, because PS, as Sony is aware of their shock thing, so I don't count it out the race yet, and we'll just have to see, because for it to see the major impact, most probably the good PS5 games will be coming out 2022, probably, because many companies are working on the last hurrah of PlayStation 4 games, and then after that, that's when the PS, the next gen console. Except for FIFA, usually FIFA and the sporting games are ahead of the curve. But then I'm not so sure if the next FIFA will be on PS5 and Xbox. It's the Xbox X Series But then, yeah, you could just say that FIFA is going to be one of the games that will, will see the rise. FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer are those ones which are going to see the rise. Obviously, they're going to be the Xbox exclusive game and the PS5 exclusive games that are also going to be like the top benchmarks of what the PS5 can actually do. But then, what my brother said was like, I never actually watched the company he did. So what he actually told me, I just saw the highlights. So, but what he told me was like, PS5 from what he was seeing so far just seems like a better version of the of PS4, like in terms of graphic wise. It's not yet like does not yet have the revolutionary type of graphics that the PS5 is expecting. But then again, the game companies don't really have the time to be upgrading because they're still doing the last hurrah. So if you have noticed, the last past years there hasn't been much games that have been coming out because most of them are working on the next gen kind of game. So it was kind of pointless for them
in the big
producing
games.
PS4 games. Yeah.
Alright, cool. That's interesting.
So we just have to wait and see. Wait and see. Don't count PS out of the race yet, and things are just getting interesting. And for console, that's $500. You better be twerking to your girlfriend or finding your sugar mommies to buy you that PS5.
It's funny how like people's relationship status were highlighted because of the PlayStation 5. Like you'd be surprised. Like, wait, you're in a relationship? Since when, nigga? Oh, PlayStation 5. I see you, brother.
Like not to hate on my Zimbabwean girls, like them girls won't buy you a PlayStation 5. They won't buy you shit. If you're in gym and you're expecting your girlfriend to be buying your PlayStation 5, just forget about it. This chick, unless she's a sugar mommy, then yeah, she will buy you that. But if she's just a regular girlfriend. Just forget it now. Just burn your US dollar, burn your bonds, save up your US dollars and buy the PS5.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh, I'm used to buying things for myself. So okay, let's talk about the actual games they showed. Let's forget about the console. So we got the new Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Insomnia Games. You excited for that?
Oh yeah, I'm so excited about the Spider-Man games. Have always been, I've always loved Spider-Man games. So that one I'm kind of excited for. Other than that, I think not much. It's my interest. Then again, I'm a picky gamer. Like I don't just play any kind of game. I've got a special kind of niche of games that I like.
Yeah. Well, I've got something controversial to say. Okay, not towards Spider-Man, but there's another game that they promoted. I think it was called Godfall. Did you see that one?
I think so, yeah.
The trap or whatever hip hop beats happening is like whatever the ancient heroes were facing against each other. I think that game looks generic as fuck. Like it just looks generic. I don't know. I feel like it feels like copy paste concept art, design, gameplay, mechanics. It out of all the titles that came out, like it didn't look that interesting.
We'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, then
like I said, the first games for PS5 or Xbox One are not going to excite it.
Yeah, then there's Horizon Zero Dawn. I think it was Forbidden West. Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh yeah, that one's kind of.
Yeah, the what's it called? The decaying environment and I guess we're gonna be seeing like machine wars, like different clans that are riding the machine animals. All right, so apparently Inyasha got cut out from his chat. He ran out of bundles, so I guess that will be the end of the podcast. Next week or the next time we'll be doing the podcast. Hopefully, we have a guest. I'm gonna be trying to do like a uh, scheduling. Try to do scheduling for other people to get involved. But to all those who listen, thank you for listening to the Banda Ngundu podcast. Right now, Nyasha is still being picky or petty, or rather, he can't really come to an agreement with the current channel name. But I guess we'll let the audience decide if this will stick or if we have to change it. But anyways, to all those who listened, thank you for listening. I'll try to do this on a regular basis, and if you have any suggestions, we'll probably, I think for the next time we do a podcast, we'll have an email ready so that you can send us an email and tell us what you think, make suggestions, requests for us to make things better, and so forth. So thank you all for listening. This is me, John Banda, and my co-host, who's not available right now, Nyasha Ngundu, signing out. Thank you, and have a blessed day or blessed evening wherever you are.